Hello there, this is Kush Sharma, your photography and videography mentor. Very excited to have you here because we are going to be learning about an absolutely amazing photo editing app called Snapseed. Now, usually in photography and in life, free things are usually not fantastic, and if something is fantastic, it's usually not free. Snapseed is fantastic and it's free. That's why I'm really excited to teach you how to use this app to take your photo editing to the next level. Because what you're about to find out in this course is that once we cover the basic functions, Snapseed can also be used to perform some really advanced photo editing techniques, which usually people think can only be done in expensive software like Adobe Photoshop and Lightroom. Yes, it might involve a few hacks, but listen, that's what I'm here for, to teach you first of all the basics and then those advanced hacks also. Now, before we get started, I do want to mention a couple of important points that you should know, which will just facilitate your journey and make the learning process very easy. So let's go there, and once we're done with these points, you know the type of a guy I am. If you've done any of my courses, I like to get straight into action. So from the next video onwards, it's gonna be our first edit. But first of all, let's see what these important points are. All right, so these are some of the points that I want to make. Of course, first of all, you will just be going over to Play Store and downloading Snapseed on your mobile. It's available for both Android as well as iPhone, and there's just one major difference between the two. Okay, I'll just be talking about how the Android app differs from iPhone, because it is a significant difference which will come into play later on. And apart from that, so I'll get to that later. Of course, I'll be using a lot of images throughout this course, and you can edit along with me so that it's a hands-on experience. So in the very next lecture, you will find a resource option. You can download the images. You'll get a zip file like this. Just click on extract all. And once it's extracted, you will find the folder which has all the images labeled in sequence as we go along the course. It'll be very easy for you to just find the image that we are using. Of course, there are going to be more images that will be added here. Right now, I'm just midway through the course, so there are few images right now, but of course, they will be added later on also. Okay, the final thing I want to talk about is feel free to use your own images also if you want. You don't always have to use the image that I have given. You can go over to this website called unsplash.com. It's an amazing website for photographers because what it allows you to do is you can literally search for anything. For example, I can just type portrait, okay? And if you just skip over these are premium images, stock images. This you can't use legally, but just under this, where it says result for the keyword that you type, all these images you can download for free, and these are high resolution photographs. You can legally use them for your editing practice. Okay, these are provided by photographers like you. You can also become a contributor here and put up your own photographs if you want. But the best part is these are high quality DSLR or mirrorless photographs. So it's very easy to edit them on apps like Snapseed, all right? Now, there's just one final difference between Android and iPhone app when it comes to Snapseed. I just want to talk about that before we get started. All right, so this is the point I want to make. I have Snapseed open here on my Android phone. Okay, so what is the difference between the Android phone and the iPhone? There's one major difference when it comes to a setting which is related to saving the particular image. Okay, now you don't really have to worry about how I've opened this image, how does the Snapseed app look. We will be covering everything from the start from the next video onwards. It's just to make this point, okay? So what happens is, let's say I'm just going to quickly select tools, and again, this I'll be showing you right from scratch. Don't worry about anything that I'm doing right now. I'm just quickly doing something to just make some changes. That's it, okay? Let's have increased the brightness of this image. Now I click on the check mark, and this just changes the brightness. And now I have an option at the end. Once you finish your edit, you can save it, right? And how you do that in Snapseed is, and I'll be talking about this in detail, by the way. I'm just making a quick point right now. I click on this export option down, and then I get a couple of options here. Okay, this is what I want to talk about right now. This is your only focus. On an Android app, if I were to save this photo, okay, I cannot come back to this and remove that brightness thing that I did. I cannot undo that once the image has been saved. So it's once you save the image on an Android device, okay, it is kind of destructive. It is not non-destructive editing. That means you will not be able to recover. Okay, I'll talk about this in detail. What are some of the ways you can overcome this later on when we have covered the basic functions inside this course. Okay, whereas on an iPhone, if you're using an iPhone, there you
have the option, once you save this image, it gives you the feature that you can still undo any change that you had done even before. So if you were to edit something today, save it, and then access the image tomorrow, you will still be able to remove, for example, in this case, the brightness change that we did. So that is an advantage if you have an iPhone over an Android. Now, is it a very big advantage? I wouldn't say so, especially for beginners. It does become important when it comes to slightly longer edits, slightly more advanced edits. But like I said, I will dedicate a separate video before we move on to the advanced section and talk about this, that what are the things that you can do in order to avoid this. If you're not understanding anything right now, it's not so important. What I'm trying to just say is, initially just focus on the basic settings that we'll be starting from the next video. Don't worry too much about the saving part. Like I said, once the basic panels get over, the basic settings get over, I will talk about this particular thing in detail. That's all I wanted to say. Let's get started.